Well, good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here in the crew. It's slightly warm at Lenox, Alabama. Was it warm today? 94 or something. Whew. I gave a tour out there. I turned the air conditioner on my Jeep, but there's no doors and no roof. A little hard to air condition. But we had a blast. Those kids, two Jeeps full of kids. Anyway, it is July 21st, 2025. We'll be in Proverbs chapter 3. Dead center in the Bible is the book of Psalms, and right after that is Proverbs. Sweet sleep. We'll get there in just a minute. We're on a bunch of channels. We're on Facebook and Rumble and X, and let's see, our own app, KentHovind.tv. We're on Instagram, and you can click those buttons, and it'll take you right to us. Okay, like us, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and tell others about us. So we're open for free for 9 years now. If you want to help us, join our 777 Club. Okay, so we are in Proverbs chapter 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Keep in mind, Proverbs is King Solomon, the wisest guy that ever lived, writing to his many, many sons. I guess he had too many kids to spend quality time with them, so just write them a book instead. For length of days, long life, and peace shall they add to thee. Isn't that what everybody wants? Just peace. Long life. Length, not only long life, but length of days. You ever had one of those days where you get so much done in one day, you can't believe it? Wow, this was awesome. I got a lot done today. I love that, okay? Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Length of days. That phrase found in the Bible 5 times. First time in Deuteronomy. He's thy life and the length of thy days. Found again in Job chapter 12. With the ancient is wisdom, and length of days is understanding. The longer you live, the more wiser you're going to get in the argument there in the book of Job. Let's see. He asked for life of thee, and thou gavest it him, even length of days forever and ever. Proverbs 3, the one we're on now, length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. And again in Proverbs 3 again, length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand, riches and honor, talking about wisdom. Okay, he said, write them upon the table of thine heart. That phrase is found in the Bible twice. Proverbs 3, where we are, and Proverbs 7. So shalt thou find good understanding, and in the sight of God and men. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Thomas and his wife, Deborah and Jeffrey, are visiting from Fort Rucker area, right? Yep. He reminded me that in my messages I teach on creation, I tell the story about a guy going on a raft through Grand Canyon. You can't see very far ahead of you, and you're kind of stuck in the flow. You got to go with the flow. It'd be nice to have a walkie-talkie and be able to talk to somebody in a helicopter overhead who can see the big picture. Hey, what should I do? Pilot radio's down. Stay to the right. It looks pretty rough to the right, sir. Yep, stay to the right. Did you hear me? It looks rough on the right. Looks smoother on the left. He radios back. It's always smooth water right before the waterfall. Stay to the right, okay? You want to go through the rough water, or you want to go over the waterfall? It's your choice. Just ask God to direct your paths. You know, looking back on my life, I can see he directed me 1,000 times. It's just amazing. Looking forward, kind of scary, you know? Hindsight's always 20/20. Verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord. Depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel. If you ever wanted to have a healthy belly button, here's your chance. I don't, never mind. Okay. And marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. God wanted, he told the Jews in the Old Testament, I want you to bring a tithe, 10% of your increase. So if you have a farm and you have, 50 cows and they have, 10 babies, 1/10, one of them belongs to God. If you have 10% of your increase, that's a tithing, a whole other doctrine on that. But if you honor the Lord, you can live much better off the 90% than you can off the 100%. You get 90% with God's blessings. If you don't have God's blessings, it both said in the book of Malachi, God said, you guys, you earn wages, then you put it into a bag with holes. You ever felt that way? You look at your checkbook, where'd all the money go? Like everything, it leaks. All right. If you tithe, you put God first, it's amazing. Everything seems to tighten up, okay? With the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. God promised, if you'll tithe and put me first, I'll take care of all that stuff for you. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. See, if a dad is always correcting his son, no, son, don't do that. No, this is the way you do it. Stop, I'm going to spank you. That's how you show your love to the child, to correct them. Just let them do their own thing. They're going to go to pieces, going to ruin their life. As many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. He said, God corrects a son. The Father corrects his son. How do you become a son of God? Well, you receive him. John 1. He gave them power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. There's a billboard up in Monroeville. Repent and be baptized. Like that's the way you get saved. No, that's your works. Your works don't save you. It's believing on Jesus that saves you, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. In John 3:3, Jesus answered and said, Verily, verily, I say, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. You've already had your physical birth, okay? Or you wouldn't be listening to me. Now you need a spiritual birth. You get born again by receiving Christ. Your mother received the seed from the father and started developing a baby. You receive Christ into your heart, and a brand new person starts to grow inside. In 1 John, he said, Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God. It doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. We shall see him as he is. You get born into God's family and become God's child. Now, God spanks his children. He doesn't send them to hell. You're guaranteed going to heaven. Actually, if you don't behave, you might go early. And you can lose your rewards, you can lose your joy, but you can't lose your salvation. Cannot possibly lose it. We got a discussion the other day with somebody. He said, yeah, I believe you can lose your salvation. I said, if you could lose your salvation, everybody would lose it every day. Because there's two kinds of sins. Sins of commission, where you do what's wrong, and sins of omission, where you don't do what you're supposed to do. You tell your boy, hey, son, clean up your room and get your started on your homework. You come in 30 minutes later and he's playing video games. That's it, son, I'm giving you a spanking. Why? I wasn't doing anything wrong. Correct. You also didn't do what I told you to do. Jesus told us, preach the gospel to every creature. You folks who think you can lose your salvation, have you been out preaching to everybody you meet? That's a sin of omission. You're going to hell now. No. Salvation's by becoming a child of God. You're born into his family. Okay. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is personifying wisdom like it's a woman here. She's more precious than rubies. All the things thou canst desire are not to be compared to her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. You get wisdom, you have a long, happy, wonderful life. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold on her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Get wisdom. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge, the depths are broken up. What is this? The depths are broken up. Well, I'll show you. And the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thy eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. Okay, he founded the earth. He hath established the heavens, and the depths are broken up. Here we have a clue in Proverbs 3 that goes back to Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. He founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. You know, when God first made the world, the crust of the earth was founded and established on top of the water. There was water in the crust of the earth. Scientists are now saying there's probably 10 oceans worth of water still in the crust of the earth. Psalm 33, he layeth up the depth in storehouses. Psalm 136, he stretched out the earth above the waters. It says in 2 Peter, the scoffers in the last days are going to be willingly ignorant of how God made the heavens and the earth standing out of the water and in the water. This is critical. When God made the earth, there was water under the crust of the earth. Then there was a layer of air to breathe, probably 10 or 15 miles, and then a layer of ice, water above the firmament. Firmament where the birds fly. Then all that water that was underneath came shooting up when the fountains of the deep broke open. Genesis chapter 7. That water went shooting up like a missile and brought rocks off the side of the crack with it and shattered that canopy overhead. It's interesting. Super cold ice is magnetic. So that ice that was shattered up there, I believe, got sucked in by the magnetic field and dumped on the North and South Pole. Instant ice age. Probably snowed 10 feet a minute, which buried a lot of animals standing up. You ever been in snow so deep? You folks in Alabama are saying snow. What is that? Little white stuff that falls out of the sky. Oh, pigeons. No. Anyway, you ever been in snow so deep you couldn't even fall over? Yeah. I think they find animals frozen near the North Pole standing up sometimes. Camels that don't live up there. Anyway, watch my video number 6 of my series. It all fits together, and we'll put it together there. Fountains of the deep broke open. The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they, the sound wisdom and discretion, be life to thy soul and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in the way safely. Thy foot shall not stumble. When you lie down, thou shalt not be afraid. Thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Have you ever had sweet sleep? You just crash and wake up like, whoa, that was just sleeping was fun, That was cool. I love it, okay? He said in Psalm 3, I laid me down and slept. Psalm 4, I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. Psalm 127, so he giveth his beloved sleep. You ever had those nights where you can't go to sleep, you toss and turn, and what's going on? I can't sleep. Psalm 121, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. God doesn't sleep. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. There's a couple things God can't do. He can't learn. He already knows it all. Yeah. Guess what? He knows everything about you. You're not going to believe this. He loves you anyway. Mm-hmm. When thou liest down, thy sleep shall be sweet. For they sleep not until they've done mischief. Some people, they got to do something wrong before they can go to sleep, okay? Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth. Traveleth. We'll get there, Proverbs 6. Slothfulness casteth into deep sleep. An idle soul shall suffer hunger. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. It's nice to have sweet sleep, but if you sleep, you're going to be broke. Get up, get a job, okay? Yet a little slumber, a little sleep, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth. Ecclesiastes, the sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer. It means won't allow him to sleep. They're always worried about their money, worried about their car, worried about all the stuff they got. You work hard all day, you won't have any trouble sleeping. There's nothing like a good hard day's work. I did roofing every summer when I was teaching school, had my own roofing company. You carry shingles up the ladder, nail them down, clean up. You do roofing all day long. You'll go to sleep, okay? Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and he shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it's in the power of thine hand to do it. What this means is, employers, pay your guys on time. Don't keep it in the bank 3 more days to try to earn extra interest. You owe it to them, give it to them. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due. If you owe somebody something, pay them. For the Lord shall be thy sacrifice, and keep thy foot from being taken. Ecclesiastes, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, to be ready to hear, more ready to hear than to give, the sacrifice of fools. Keep thy foot. Get ready to go to church to be prepared to listen, okay? Say not to thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I'll give it thee. When thou hast it by thee, devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without cause. Don't start a fight with no cause, if he've done thee no harm. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward, remember we talked about that last night or yesterday, that's the stubborn, is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Just be fair, be honest with people, okay? And God will bless you. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace to the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. This is David's wisdom to his son, Solomon's wisdom to his sons, and to all of us today. Proverbs, written 3,000 years ago, still very applicable. Any questions or comments real quick, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
A Red Seal certified automotive HD mechanic might be interested in moving down to Canada. Well, anybody, come try it for a week and see. Okay? We don't promise anybody anything. We're going to look at them, they look at us. We're just an old-fashioned independent Baptist church. We're looking for people that love the Lord and want to help us. That's all. Come on down. Please come. Deborah, I've been over a waterfall. I would not recommend it. But Joseph, does she have blonde hair?
She does have blonde hair. Unrelated.
Unrelated, totally unrelated. Okay, good. Do you suppose the white robes, our glorified bodies, will be clothed in as light? I don't know. Good. I'll let God handle that. Okay. Hovind were called to spread the gospel. There was many Christians immediately after Pentecost that did not actively teach or preach. Paul states we're to use our given talents for the kingdom of God. It's not if you are out actively preaching, but what?
But what you do to further the kingdom.
What you do to further the kingdom. Right. Well, he told the disciples several times, go preach the gospel to every creature. Not everybody has to be a preacher, but everybody can be a testimony, a witness. You can be pushing the golf carts at Walmart, the shopping carts at Walmart, and still be a witness for the Lord. But no matter what your job is, your main job is winning souls. Like the story of the guys, they're building this big temple, or big, huge cathedral in Europe, and they're all digging the ditch for the foundation. This guy walks up, he asks the first guy, he said, what are you doing? He said, I'm digging a ditch. Ask the second guy, what are you doing? I'm digging a ditch. Ask the third guy, what are you doing? I'm building a cathedral. Yeah. So you got to keep the right attitude toward what you're doing. I'm not just mowing grass at Dinosaur Adventureland. I'm winning souls. Yeah. Okay. Last one. Nicholas, hope you and the crew are doing well. My question, have you heard about Orthodoxy and what is your opinion? Well, there's Russian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, Jewish Orthodox. I need a little more specific question to answer that one. I think there are many people who are trying very hard to follow the letter of the law, and they're missing the whole point. God gave the law to be a mirror. You look at the law, the 10 Commandments, and say, wow, I can't do this. I'm guilty. God, have mercy on me. That's what God wants. If you look at the law and say, when Moses brought the law down and read it to the people, they made the biggest mistake in world history. He read the 10 Commandments. They said, we can do this, no problem. God said, okay, try it. Nobody's ever kept the law. We're all guilty. So Orthodox, I think, are still trying to keep the law. I'm saying you shouldn't try, but that's not how you get your righteousness. If there was a microphone in the Brachiosaurus mouth, that would be cool. Love it. Okay, question, Thomas.
Dr. Ken, now that Pete Hexet has initiated prayer as a voluntary meeting in Pentagon, how would you describe separation of church and state for our viewers?
What he's saying is, you're ex-military, Trump or they're having prayer service in the Pentagon, right?
Yes, the Department of Defense Secretary.
Department of Defense, the Secretary of Defense. Okay. I think that's great. It's your right. He has a right to say this is voluntary. If you don't want to pray, don't pray. But the judge that put me in prison for 10 years had two public school teachers arrested for praying over their food at lunch. That's evil. Okay. Watch my February 1st show on all my channels back there where I talk open letter to Donald Trump. I think that's wonderful. Our country was founded by people who believed in prayer. I mean, it started that way. Read the document. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. They're endowed by their evolutionary background. No, endowed by their creator with certain rights. Rights come from the creator. So our country was founded by those people. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Go to North Korea. See how many rights you got there. Okay, any more, Joseph?
I don't think so, Doc.
Okay. Tomorrow night, if the creeks don't rise too high, Proverbs chapter 4. See you then. Call if you have any questions. I'll try to help. 855-BIG-DINO, extension 2. I'm extension 3. Well, Thomas, you called me at 2 this morning, didn't you? Or you texted me at 2 this morning?
I did.
Yeah. And I was up. I answered me. You up? Yeah. I can't keep up, Joseph. Anyway. All right. See you tomorrow night. Bye.